Hello, we're going to go over distributed property today. Do this quick check though. This should take you 1 minute. Either I can identify the properties or not. I don't know where you're at on that, so pause this for a minute. Number 4, go ahead and get that solved. So you pause. And welcome back from being paused. Here are the answers. Associative property of addition. Associative in that I can move the parentheses around. The next one would be commutative property of multiplication, because that commutative says I can, associative says I can associate the B with a C and the A with a B, and if as long as it's addition, it doesn't matter which one I add first. Commutative property says I can move that 3 to the front of the AB, behind the AB. Again, I could also move that AB to BA. So commutative property says I can move. Associative property says I can associate. And this one here is called the identity property of addition, because what I put in and add 0 to it, I get out what I put in. There's identity property of multiplication when you multiply by 1, and identity property of addition where you add with 0. Dance lessons cost $100 per half hour. 3 couples want to do it for an hour. I would take that out, make it 1 couple is $200 for an hour. So 3 couples would be $600. So hopefully you got that. That was just a warm up for you. Shouldn't take it more than a couple minutes to get there. Okay, now we're going to go on to using the distributive property to evaluate numerical and algebraic expressions. Distributive property, you should have had that probably back in 3rd, 4th grade when they're teaching the way they want you to do math now. I don't know if they called it distributive property back then, but here's what it looks like. Distributive property is, that's the vocabulary word we need, states that to multiply a sum or a difference by a number, a sum or addition, or subtraction by a number, multiply each term inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. Each term, that's really what's important here. We multiply A times B plus A times C. We multiply A times B minus A times C. Really important, because what happens is in the past, kids have gotten here and they get A, B, and then they just bring the C out. They'll do the A, B minus, and then they'll just put the C. Can't do that. That A has to be multiplied times every number inside the parentheses. Here's how you would have seen it. You would have done this: 4 times 6 plus 4 times 2. 3 times 7 minus 3 times 5. And again, they might not have called it distributive property, but that's what it was that you were doing back then. I don't much like the numerical ones to show it to you, but that's how we started. So we're going to start with that. Here's the problem with showing it to you with numbers. If you had this problem, and we've talked about order of operation, where you do everything inside the parentheses first, then exponents, which there are now, then you multiply. Well, the way we would do this using order of operations is -9 plus 4 would be -5. 8 times -5 would be -40. We would do everything in parentheses, then we would multiply. So here's what happens with this. They want you to see it this way, and again, I get why they're doing it. They want you to experience the distributive property with numbers instead of variables. So we'll go ahead and do it. Expand using distributive property. So again, you can see 8 times -9 plus, remember there's a plus there, so we're going to plus 8 times 4. That equals -72 plus 32. And when you add that, it's -40. Again, pause for a moment, however long it takes to do this, and use the distributive property. Don't just get the answer, but use the distributive property to practice that. Okay, you've unpaused, you're back, and you can see that 7 times 3 plus 7 times 12, and it equals 105. 21 plus 84 equals 105. So that's the way that would be done. I put the blue line in there to make sure you understand. If that's an addition, then there's got to be addition down here. Use the distributive property to rewrite this. Now we're getting into the algebraic expression. So we're going to use the distributive property. Take a moment, see if you can think what that would be. And it's probably a little simpler than you want it to be, or think it should be. 4 times x plus 4 times 7. It really is that simple. 4 times x plus 4 times 7. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 7 is 28, and you're done. It's 4x plus 28. You cannot simplify it beyond that. You don't know what x is. Now, if it said evaluate the expression for x, then you can plug x in and solve this expression. Tell what that expression would evaluate. It would come out to equal. Okay, you do one. Again, look at this example. I'm going to put one on the board for you there, one on the screen. Pause it, use your paper pencil, and go ahead and do yours. Pause the video. Okay, you're back. Welcome back. Hopefully you came up with 11x plus 55. 11 times x plus 11 times 5. If you're not getting this, I need you to write down questions, and we'll have a little time at the end of this that you can ask me questions if you need to. Use the distributive property to rewrite 6 times the quantity of p minus 5. Now, they're going to show you a way to do this that I don't care for. I don't use it. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the way I do it. You need to figure out which one makes sense to you. Here's the way they're going to show you to do it. They want you to rewrite 6 times the quantity of p minus 5 as 6 times the quantity of p plus negative 5. They want you to rewrite the p minus 5 as p plus negative 5. And when we went over integers, we talked about that was true. 10 minus 5 is the same as 10 plus negative 5. So we can do what they said to do there. Then you go ahead and multiply 6 times p, 6 times negative 5. And so you're going to use distributive property. You bring the addition sign down. Then you're going to have 6p plus negative 30. Simplify. And from that point, you got to go back and put the minus in anyway. So plus negative 30 isn't simplified. You need to write it as minus 30. So my point is, if I have to take the subtraction and make it a plus and negative, and then ultimately come back here and take plus and negative and make it a subtraction again, I don't even know why you would take that step. So I wouldn't do that, but you can. Okay. Here's the way I would do it. 6 times p minus 5, same problem. I would just take 6 times p minus 6 times 5. 6 times p, bring the sign down, times 6 minus, then 6 times 5. You'd have 6p minus 30. That would be it. So again, you can see the difference. There's an extra couple steps for the other one. It depends on which one you prefer. Hopefully you wrote at least one of them down. Both of them down to compare them would be great. But you're going to get some subtraction ones here. And here is one. Go ahead and use whichever way you want. Again, pause the video. Solve this problem. Use it however you wish to use it. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you got 5p minus 40. 5p, bring the minus sign down. 5 times 8 would be 40. Excuse me. Now here's where it's going to get a little different because you got a negative outside. It's going to be negative times x, negative 2 times x, negative 2 times negative 8. Or minus, anyway, you'll see. Here's what they want you to do. Negative 2 times the quantity of x minus 8 would be negative 2 times the quantity of x plus negative 8. They want you to rewrite that as x minus 8 is plus 8 plus negative 8. That would be negative 2x plus negative 2 times negative 8. So you're using distributive property. That would be negative 2x. Negative times a negative is a positive, so it's going to be plus 16. That's simplified. And you can't go any further than that to simplify it. Again, I contend that if I did negative 2 times negative 8 and just left that minus sign there, that would be plus 16 anyway. So it comes back again to how well you understand integers and what you can do with them. This is a way to do it. There's no doubt. Again, go ahead and use your strategy. Pause it. Use your strategy. This is your chance to practice. Okay, you're back. If you got negative 3x plus 6, then you got the right answer. If you got negative 3x minus 6 or minus 2, if you got minus 2, you forgot to multiply negative 3 times negative 2. And minus 6, maybe you forgot the negative times a negative is a positive. Something you just need to look at and figure out on your own. Well, you can ask me later. We can figure it out together. Use distributive property to rewrite. This one, both of them have variables. But again, it's a positive times a negative plus a positive times a positive. So you're going to use distributive property. Expand, use distributive 5 times negative 3x plus 5 times 7y. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15x. 5 times 7 is 35. The plus sign comes down. And that's it. There's nothing more to do to that. It is simplified at that point. Here's yours. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, you're back. This should be 4 times negative 9, which is negative 36x plus 4. Negative 36x plus 4. Take a moment. If you got it right, that's great. If you didn't get it right, pause it, go back, look at the previous one. Look and see, oh, I see what I did. Okay. And that's the way you use this, to go back and forth. One more, with a fraction on the outside. This is one you might want to get the decimals out for and start typing this in. 1/3 times x minus 6 times the quantity of x minus 6. So it'd be the same thing you've been doing. 1/3 times x would be 1/3 x. And again, they put plus and negative there, which that works, so we'll leave it there. So it's going to be 1/3 x plus 1/3 times negative 6. And 1/3 times negative 6, if you use the calculator, you'll see, or 1/3 of 6. 1/3 of 6 is 2. So 1/3 of negative 6 would be negative 2. So the final answer would be 1/3 x plus negative 2. But again, to simplify, you have to actually put 1/3 x minus 2. You got to bring plus and negative doesn't simplify. You need to put the minus sign there. So that's what today's lesson is. Here's one example to do this fraction one. Do not get hung up. If the fractions are hanging you up, we'll deal with that. If this minus is hanging you up, then we're going to deal with that as well. But I'll deal with you when we use a document camera. We'll work some on that, and we'll see what we can work out that way. And there's using distributive property to rewrite. Pause it. Welcome back. You should have 1/4 x minus 4. 1/4 x minus 4. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead back to Alex has some practice problems, and when enough people get done, I'm going to work with you some on the document camera to have you practice some on there. See you later.